Well, Jynx has once again failed the test for COVID, so she's not positive. So we're still not rid of her. Alright, welcome friends, Lost Guy here. It's time for the vlog. And Jynx is the monster who wrote that joke, not me. She wanted me to tell that joke when I'm telling it. Which is in terrible taste considering my uncle died from it. But damn, Jynx, you're a monster. So, Jynx is hella sick. She's been sick for like a week. Really bad fever. And so she thought maybe it's the virus. So she took test, not the virus. This is the second time she's taken the coronavirus test. She's just sick again, really bad. That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. That's too bad. She's just very sick. I've thankfully been able to fight sickness as best I can. Hopefully it stays that way. I'd really like to not get the virus. I really like that. More variants are coming out. Vaccine isn't here yet, by the way. I will get the vaccine a little bit sooner than the general public because I do a service for the public that is essential. So, yay for me to get a little bit sooner. Alright, so, real quick, for those who don't know who Jynx is, so the vlog is our most viewed video now. Every week, it's the most viewed video. When the podcast, whenever that happens, it usually becomes the most viewed, but it doesn't always happen. By the way, at the podcast, I have asked 50 people in January. I can't get anyone. Try asking a girl or whatever sexuality you got. Try asking someone out. Like, try asking 50 people out. It's feeling like that. I'm like, ugh. I don't want to date anymore. I don't want to try to ask another girl out. That's how it's feeling right now. they're kicking me in the dick. They keep kicking me in the dick. Like, it's just, rejection sucks. All you can tell yourself with rejection is, every no is a step to a yes somewhere. It still sucks, yo. So, Jynx has been our editor this whole time. 7.5 years, me and her have been a partnership in this channel. Some of you don't know that. I do all the talking, I do all the talky talk, I do all the public stuff, and then she does all the editing. Maybe 1% of her videos are done by me. On the main channel, on the side channel, it's all me. On the main channel, it's all me. I do all the recording, obviously I do all the recording, all the talking, and all that stuff. Jynx does all the editing. She does the sound, just cleaning up the breathing, which I'm not doing right now, I just noticed. I'm not working on my breathing right now. Every video, the more I breathe loudly, which I'm now being conscious of, so I'm not breathing as loudly now, makes more work for Jynx, because she has to cut out every breath. We like to be professional and cut out breaths. And it took like years to work on the technique to learn how to breathe without making noise. And I can do that when I remember I should be doing that. I have fallen out of practice a little bit because we haven't been doing as many things. But, yeah. You'll notice right at like there's these little pauses and they're from me breathing slower to not make noise. So maybe like 90% of the videos are audio done by Jynx and 10% are done by me. Everything on the side channel is done by me. I do all that. That's just me doing LPs or for fun. It's because I just want to make more content. And I don't want to put it on the main channel because it would just flood it even more than it is. So just all the editing is Jynx. Sometimes it's me doing the audio just to lessen the load. Side channel, just all me on them. So saying that, so let's say only 1% is all done by me, and there's certain projects that are all done by me. That big special project's almost out, and it's like 80% me, 20% Jynx, because she's done all the graphics for it. And really quick, I'm just curious, how many videos have we got? So I just want to look this up. So our channel, it's been 7.5 years. Me and Jynx together, we have made 5,595 videos. Just wrap that around your head. 5,595 videos. We have made a lot of shit over the years. We have made a lot of videos. And our most viewed video is like, what is it? It's like almost 100,000? We hit 100,000. Double checking real quick here. Almost 100,000 for an out-of-date video that is still helpful but not perfect, which is a Smite guide, because of course it is. So if you ever go to our channel and you look at our highest upload videos, number 1 is the jungling guide. And that is a guide I spent months on, because I'm like, the idea there was the fundamentals, how to think like a jungler. That's what it was about, so that you could use this knowledge in any MOBA, not just Smite. That was the idea there. The guide to the free gods has almost 80,000 views, and that was because there's specific free gods. I don't know how Smite is now. But I'm like, here's how to play good with these guys, because if you don't have any money, here's what you're going to be using. And then the third most viewed video is us playing Shadow of Mordor, and the name of the episode was Lord of the Hunt. This video was made before the DLC came out. We had no idea that's what the DLC was going to be called. And so, Lord of the Hunt, DLC comes out, and some pirate site uses our video as an example of the DLC, despite the fact it isn't the DLC at all, which is hilarious. And it's just, over the years, anyone who's just on that pirate site has just been looking at this video, which doesn't represent the DLC at all, which is hilarious. Number 4 is the Being Grounded Loki, and the 5th video is One Shot Saturday. So we used to do weekly one-shots. We had to recommend an indie game every week. And it was Game Dev Tycoon, the pirated version. So Game Dev Tycoon, those who've been here for a long time know I love that game. It's a very fun game. We've actually played it as a stream a few times. I actually want to do that again. It's fun to do that every couple of years. In that game, you're playing a tycoon game making games. And if you pirated that game, eventually your company would die because too many people were pirating your games. So we played the pirated version, and we're just having fun doing that. So what we did was we bought an actual version of the game, and then we got the pirated version. Because obviously it's just kind of ethically not cool to play a pirated version. So we bought the game, and then we got the pirated version, we did it. And it was just this fun, it was like, it's just funny that they did this, and I appreciate that. I forget, I don't think it was Earthbound. There was a game back in the SNES times where if you pirated the game, which piracy was a thing back then, you'd get to the final boss and automatically lose. And then it would erase your save file. Don't remember which game it was, but that is balls insane. Holy crap. Get to the final boss and it happens. Another fun version of that piracy is Batman, Arkham Asylum. It's Arkham Asylum or City, where when you do the flying, you just fail every time. You just crash every time. And when people were complaining about the bugs, like, ha, you got the pirated version. You were pirating, and that's what you get. So, like, things like that, funny. That's not even what I want to talk about. That's just something I want to mention real quick. So yeah, this channel, that many videos. Oh, by the way, how many views? I'm going to see. About 2.7 million views. 2.7 million views. Can your mom say she has 2.7 million views? I don't think she can. Maybe your mom's cool. We have 2.7 billion views. That's pretty good in 7.5 years. It's not amazing. Random fact, the day we broke 1 million views was the day Gerard the Completionist got his first 1 million video. His first video to break 1 million views. That is the same day. It really put things in perspective. I'm like, well, we got 1 million views, holy crap. And then Gerard celebrating getting his first video with 1 million views. Like, well, that just put in perspective. Years of work. And of course, like Gerard, he spends like weeks, months on his videos, but so years of work, 1 million. Like months of work in one day, 1 million. Like, oh Jesus. Alright. Still, there you go. Question, real quick. Now this doesn't matter as much because it's the side channel, it doesn't have as many subs. Only got like 300 subs. But I'm just curious. Yeah, 351 subs on the side channel. So I'm just curious really quick. Scarf plays, just in comparison, just me just doing whatever on the side, 934 videos, and there's at least a month worth in there. My most recent videos have 0 views, good for me. Why do I make these? Because I'm playing games and having fun. 5,477 views. A channel that no one's ever going to find because it's not advertised somehow has 5,000 views, so good for that channel. Like, this one gets no advertising, it's just play, it's people randomly finding it. Eventually, this channel will get a bunch of views because of the fact it's going to have every single Kirby game's gameplay on it for the podcast. And the podcast right now, we don't need to look at the numbers for the podcast because that's still getting built right now. It's going to be a year before that gets real good traction. And I'm excited to see what happens with that one because it's going to be very much in a niche that I know can get attention. And we'll get even more attention if I really do pull off a long-term goal I want to do, and that is relearn Japanese so I can translate the Kirby mangas. And if I have to do all the work, I will. To translate and just Photoshop and put all that stuff, whatever it is, you white out the text, you put in the English text, whatever that is. If I gotta do it all myself, I'll do it as this little side hobby that will take forever to update, but I'll do it. Because there are literally, if you did not know this, hundreds of Kirby manga in Japan. There's like 50 to 70, I don't remember right now the exact number, so I'm giving it this big wide of berth. There's 50 to 70 different manga series for Kirby in Japan. Give you that again. Now, not at the same time, but there have been that many over the last 28 years. There's the long-running one where you got Kirby with the Fang, which is like the main manga Kirby, but there's a bunch of Kirbys out there. And I want to read all of that. And I want to translate all of that. And then there's the light novels. There's light novels. There is a big amount of Kirby that we cannot consume in the West because we don't understand Japanese. And I am all for bringing that over. It's just going to take some work to get the legwork on that. And I'm all for bringing it over. I really am. I would, if I could be in some way some ambassador of Kirby and somehow convince Japan to bring us more to the West, I would love to do that. And growing a channel for Kirby would be a way to do that, the way to pull that off. Would love that. Would absolutely love to do that. So, the main topic I want to talk about is not the thing I'm about to talk about right now. So, we'll see if I can get back to that. But, real quick, let's talk about hobbies. I feel like I need to defend being a Kirby fan all of a sudden. Everyone has a thing they're passionate about. And I think the thing is, we all love to make fun of everyone else. And because of that, it's very much a holier-than-thou kind of situation when you think about it. It's like, well, I'm really into baseball. None of this, like, weak-ass, like, you like anime, or you like whatever, blah, blah, blah. What is baseball? Baseball, of course, is a celebration of athletics, and that's a good thing. That's really cool and everything. But you're in there for the story as well. Like, you care about these sports people like their characters. You really do. Well, let's give football a better example because I know football better. People care about Tom Brady like he's a character. People care about Peyton Manning like this is how it's been a while since football. Peyton Manning, they care about his brother. They would have these storylines about the brothers' rivalry and stuff like that. Brett Favre, when he used to be in football. There's all these storylines people make, and also for rookies climbing up and all this stuff. There's all these storylines, but they're real. But they're treated so fictionally at the same time. It's so weird. And so it's just, and then people just know stats. They know stats of stats of stats of stats and stats and stats of just these different players and these things they do. And somehow they'll randomly know how many games did this guy get a touchdown in a row, or how many this and that. It's just ridiculous knowing all these facts, knowing the lore of sports. And it is interesting because it's reality. It's real people and everything. But at the same time, it's people who aren't you. It's at the same time, it's just stories that, to an extent, some sports stories will be passed down generations, but eventually it's going to fade away like anything else. It's hard to imagine. Before Mickey Mouse, of course, Mickey Mouse has been around like 100 years. There's been all these cartoons of Mickey Mouse for a long time. Is Mickey Mouse going to exist forever? Maybe. Maybe it will. But there are always these folk heroes and stories that become obscure over time. Everything becomes obscure over time. Everything becomes forgotten over time. Of course, we have just a few things that are remembered. But at the time, people loved and celebrated whatever thing. I'm making this a very argument for relativism, I guess, if that's the right word, where it's all relative, man. What I'm saying is, it's okay to be a fan of a fictional character. It's okay to be super invested in it, because you enjoy it so much. At the end of the day, if you're enjoying something, you're not hurting anyone, what is the problem? I greatly enjoy Kirby. I greatly enjoy Marvel. I greatly enjoy DC. I greatly enjoy One Piece. I enjoy Smash. I enjoy making videos. Well, that's not the same. I enjoy playing all these different games and getting invested in them and making videos about them. Talking about fandom, not about hobbies. Talking about fandom hobbies. That's the better way to put it. Fandom hobbies is the better way to put it, for sure. I'm invested in all these things. I'm invested in all their lores and everything. Some people are invested in sports and all the lores of sports, or a specific character. There are people who they're all about Tiger Woods, and they know all the facts about Tiger Woods. Michael Jordan, same thing, or the Bulls team. We should recognize the passion other people have and go like, oh, that's pretty cool, they're into that thing. Because I feel like the majority of people feel like other people's passions are a waste of time, because they don't see how they can have that passion. And I think you gotta look inside and be like, what are you passionate about? That passion you have is the same thing they have. It's for something else, though. I watched Queen's Gambit. Made me think about this, too. Where this world of people are just very invested in chess. Chess is their life. They love to play. They play the hell of it. They're trying to become the greatest player. And that's just one thing where everyone's doing the same thing and something else. In chess, these people are trying their best to become the greatest chess player ever. In basketball, same thing. People are trying to be the best basketball players they can be. Football, tennis, golf, ping pong, esports, of course. There are these players who are just trying to become the best whatever they are. They're playing CSGO, trying to be the best first-person shooter. When you're doing like a MOBA, you're trying to be this best team of 5, trying to be the best juggler, best healer, support, best all these different things. You're trying to be the best this thing. Some it's the motivation of just getting famous and making money, but some it is the purity of wanting to be the greatest player. These are different hobbies, these are different goals. And I feel more as I get older that we should be less judgy of others for their passions. That's what I feel. I feel it is more of an immature thing that never ages out at the same time, despite calling it immature. Where it's like, look at their passion and just crap all over it. But I feel like we should just allow people to enjoy what they're doing. They're not hurting anyone. Let them enjoy what they're doing. Now, of course, you can't use that argument for MMA because they're hurting each other, but that is consensual hurting each other at the end of the day with that. There is something to appreciate about just people wanting to be something or wanting to really be into something or understand something. For me, which only a few will appreciate, I'm sure, wanting to know all the Kirby lore and wanting to be the ambassador of Kirby and just getting it spread out more and getting more people to like it. So you can take it two ways. You can take it as an ulterior motive of, I don't want people to make fun of my hobby, so I'm arguing that no one should be making fun of people's hobbies. Or the other one is because Scarf is a nice person, I just don't think we should be shitting on each other and we should be celebrating each other's likes. Now, why do I argue this? Probably because of my family. My family is the family that ribs. They rib all day, they rib all night, and I'm the black sheep in the family because I don't like getting ribbed. I'm really, really good at ribbing people. It is a skill ground into me through family, but I don't like doing it or having it done to me so much, but I'm good at it. So, saying this as someone who just does not like getting ribbed and not liking to the extent that I don't share with anyone. This is something that I think about in the future as hopefully as a parent. To not ridicule my child's likes and wants and to be supportive. Because at the end of the day, I want them to tell me about the things they do. I've been doing this channel for 7.5 years. Been streaming for a very long time, like 6 years maybe. My dad has no idea what I do. I have never told him that I have a YouTube channel. I've never told him that I stream. Because if I told him, my uncles would find out. My aunts would find out. And that's all I would hear about at Thanksgiving. That's all I'd hear about at Christmas. That's all I'd hear about at the birthday parties. And they would just be crapping over the thing I enjoy doing. Every single time. I am the black sheep in my family who does not talk, only listens and responds to others. Because I don't want them to attack the thing I enjoy so much. Because they'll be damn good at it too. In a way that is mostly like ignorant harm, which is not fun. But just, they'll hurt me. So they have no idea about it. So, I'm also saying, don't give other people crap for their passions, because then they won't talk about it. And then they'll become more insular, and they won't share it. And people who are alone in the thing they want to share, it's a very sad thing. And again, as a nice person, I don't like people being sad, so there you go. Made this more serious than I expected to. What are we at? 20 minutes. Alright. The main topic I wanted to talk about, which we're not going to talk about now, it's not enough time for that. I may remember talking about it again. It was going to be about just violence and sex, how we're kind of backwards about how we are about it. And that's really what I want to talk about. But we can talk about it another time. I think this topic's an important topic right here. Just allowing people to be passionate about their passions. Now, if they're putting too much time into it, of course, if it's detrimental to their health or whatever, or they're maybe getting a little too in there, maybe they have hyperfixation or ADHD or something that's really making them stuck on a thing, or just they may be on the spectrum as well. Because you can get to a point where you're so into something that it's detrimental to your health. You're skipping meals, you're not doing hygiene, something like that. Something bad for your health. That is a thing that can happen to you, and that's a time when you can step in as well. I'm overthinking the subject, is what's happening now. Where I think it's good to have people who are very passionate about a subject, but it is also important that people pump the brakes now and then. Because if they don't, they burn out, one way or the other. I think that's the important thing to point out as well. Like, if you go deep enough on any subject, you can talk about it for a while, and you can go on the arguments, counter-arguments, back and forth over and over again. We're doing that right now, so let me cut that. The TLDR to everything, I think I've been trying to TLDR this 2 or 3 times already, is, the TLDR is, I think we should stop crapping on each other about each other's passions. It should be, well, that's cool, that's what your passion is, and then let's talk about their passion, and if they're not, rude, if they're not self-centered, they'll ask you about your passion, you can talk about your passion too. Maybe they can connect, maybe they can't, but you both at least know each other's passions, you know each other's hobbies. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to know more about each other, because if you use it as ammunition to dunk on each other, then you're not going to share as much, and communication breaks down. I think that is part of the crux of something I care about, that is communication. I feel like, despite how much we all talk on Twitter, I feel like we're not really talking to each other, we're talking at each other. And we hurt feelings, and then people want to share less. People use these things to share, but they also just don't share at the same time. It's a weird anomaly, it's a weird paradox, where people share and overshare and undershare. It's a very weird world we're in with that. I'm just really saying more communication would be better. Now, of course, this is again saying, if it's something that doesn't harm anyone. Now, if you're into a hobby that's harmful, well, I don't want to do anything with that at all, man. I don't know. Of course, I don't know how to help with that. I had a viewer, very young. They were into just drawing torture and just very ew kind of things to me. I was like, well, yes, you put a lot of effort into that, champ. You drew that really well. I'm like, what do I do with this? So you're like, maybe you should draw less awful things. Like, you can't, I don't know what you do to that. I really don't know what you do to that. I gotta ask a psychologist what you do with that. That's still not hurting anyone. It's just, kind of worrying. But then again, some people are into horror, and maybe he'll make a horror movie in the future. I don't know. I'm not going anywhere with this. Not going anywhere with this. Alright, so that's the vlog. I'm not going anywhere with that. Look, some people are just into gore. Some people are just into torture and all that stuff. As long as they're not doing it for real, we're still good. I am a soft person who can get hard real fast. Oh my god, that's the wrong way to put it. I have a soft heart. But it can go rigid pretty quickly as well. I care about the well-being of others. I'm very much a soft-hand person. I wonder what is the right way for humanity to go forward. And I want to argue more kindness and conversation and things like that. And allowing people to enjoy their passions. Because I feel all too often in our society, it's more, people just find more fun in dunking on each other and making people want to just hide away their passions. I don't want that. I want to see people enjoy themselves. I want to see people have fun. I don't want to see people hide who they are, what they care about, all those things. And that's where my head is at this week. So there you go. That's the vlog. Should not go any longer. So, I had fun talking. Hope you're watching and listening. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time. And if you're curious what this shirt is, yep, it's a gym shirt. Love this shirt. See you.